Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi with Retail Insider. Joining me today is Drew Green, who is CEO and president of Indochino. Thanks for joining us today, Drew.
Great to see you, Mario. Thanks for having me today. I appreciate it.
All right, let's talk about the company, the brand. And one of the interesting things I've seen lately is your strategy of using mini showrooms, particularly in Nordstrom. Tell me a little bit about that strategy, the why behind it, and how it's going so far for you.
Yeah, so that's a really special relationship for us, something that we've nurtured and developed over many years. The relationship with Nordstrom, and maybe you just kind of refer back to COVID and when it hit, right? March of 2020, we were about a month away from launching with Nordstrom, and of course, the world, just came to a complete stop. And so, we were very patient as partners. And we just said, look, let's do it right when the time's right. And just over a year later, we went forward and started launching, you said it well, mini showrooms within their department store. And it's been incredible. So it's been over a year now. We've got 30 showrooms within Nordstrom locations. We'll probably double that over the next year. We've got another six launching in August, early September. And, that's allowed us to be in a pretty unique situation, right? I mean, during COVID, most retailers, certainly omnichannel retailers like us, were sort of pulling back, not expanding. We've gone from, 52 showrooms pre-COVID to, 93 by the end of this month. And so, it's put us in a position to be and continue to be a market leader.
So tell me when you look back at deciding to go this route, maybe you can talk a little bit about the reasons why you thought that was a good idea to have these mini showrooms.
Yeah, I think the first thing I think of there, Mario, is like, my dad always used to say, hey, you're going to be defined by who you hang out with, and he was right. And, as it relates to business, it's also true. And so, we have some of the most phenomenal partners in the world, from the Yankees through to a Chinese manufacturer by the name of Diang. Post Media was a fantastic partner, and just a tremendous amount of really high quality partners and high quality people. And Nordstrom is that. To me, I've been a Nordstrom fan since, I started shopping, and I just think that they do it right. And I said to myself, probably 4 or 5 years ago now, I said to the board, actually, if we can align our brand with Nordstrom and treat the customer like they treat the customer, which I thought we were doing at the time, but do it together, that could be something that's really special for us as a company. And so that's our side of it. But I also think, like any partnership, you've got to deliver what I call win three, right? It's got to work for you, but it's really got to work for the partner, and then it's got to work for the customer. And with Nordstrom, we bring a new type of customer to them, right? We're a millennial brand and have been for many years. And so we're bringing a younger demographic into their department stores, not only to get, fitted and to design their own Indochino, but also to come back and get alterations. And so it's a win for them on that level, besides the millions of dollars of revenue tens of millions of dollars of revenue that we produce for them.
So when you look at the concept, well, first of all, I just want to backtrack for a second in terms of the numbers. What's the eventual goal to reach with these mini showrooms in Nordstrom?
I think what we've discovered is, we've got our flagship showrooms. Those are, 2,300 square feet. They're amazing. They're so well designed and so well run by our team. But this new concept of having these mini showrooms is really efficient and really profitable very early on, post launch. And so, look, I don't see an end in sight. I see us, being able to double our footprint with Nordstrom, going to sort of 60, 65, 70 locations with them, I think there's other partners internationally and in North America that we could also partner with, and we're in discussions to be transparent on that. And I think this is going to be a big core part of our business. And I don't know if it's tri-channel retail, but it could be a new name for you to use, right? Because it's not a retail location, it's not online.
Yeah.
It does act differently and has different attributes, but it's certainly a big part of our future.
I just wanted to talk about a few logistics, I guess. First of all, what is the typical size of these mini showrooms?
Yeah, so good question, because I didn't state that. They're anywhere from 300 to 600 square feet versus the 2,300 average of our flagships.
Okay.
Closer to the bigger number there, but they have all the same fabrics that we have in a showroom. That doesn't include the change rooms that we use within the department store.
Yeah.
So we have access to those to have the customers do the try on. And so yeah.
And where are they typically located in a certain area?
Yeah, the men's department. I mean, that's one of the deciding factors with Nordstrom was just, they're really good at selling men's and women's clothing. And this week we launched women's, which is a whole other topic, but they've not only elevated the brand, but maybe taught us a thing or two about servicing the customer. So but yeah, in the men's department.
Okay, well, you brought it up. Let's talk. You're launching women's. Tell me about that.
Shh, it's a secret. We very quietly turned the switch on yesterday morning. It's Thursday here in Vancouver. So we very quietly, we've been in development for half a year, plus. Our new silhouette for women is called the Madison. It's beautiful. So we've got, two different silhouettes for suiting, a skirt and shirting. And it went live yesterday in Toronto, New York, Vancouver, and Seattle. We're being very quiet about it. We, want to test and learn in the coming weeks and months. And then once we feel like, hey, we got this, we'll roll it out across the network and online. It's only available in those markets, in store.
And I just wanted to inform our listeners and viewers that whenever they hear or watch this, this was recorded Thursday, July 28th. Okay, so just that people know. All right, let's talk about stores right now. Where are you at in terms of locations for the brand?
Yeah, and so by like I said, by the end of August, we'll be over 90 stores. We had a goal at the beginning of the year to be over 100, which I still think we could hit if we choose to. I think the economy is an interesting one right now, right? And I think as aggressive as we've been throughout COVID, now 2.5 years in, I do think we just need to take it month by month and evaluate what investments we make. But there's no limit to our expansion, right? I think we'll probably get close to, if not more than 100 showrooms this year, including Nordstrom. And then next year could be our biggest year yet in terms of expansion, based on some partnership discussions that are going on.
Okay, and maybe if you could explain, Drew, where you're located, like what the reach is for the brand.
Yes, totally. We're headquartered in beautiful British Columbia. I'm in Vancouver right now, and that's where our head office is. We've got a very big team in China, including 2,500, almost 3,000 people working in the factory on Indochino every day. And then we've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of retail professionals across North America in 48 different DMAs, ranging from Ontario to British Columbia, all the way through to California, Florida, New York State, etc. So we're a North American brand. We're a Canadian company, but the majority of our revenue, now 80% almost, is in the US, with about 18% in Canada, and then 2% being Australia, and about 40 other countries.
So what about beyond North America? What are your thoughts about that?
I'm excited about international expansion. I mean, Mario, most Canadian brands struggle expanding into the US. And so, that's just a fact, right? And some American brands struggle expanding into Canada. And so, I feel really fortunate that when we've been able to do it really well these last 7 or 8 years. And I consider ourselves, a North American brand. But there's a lot of opportunity, internationally, and we think about it a lot. We talk about it a lot. We get approached a lot about different opportunities.
Yeah.
And one day it'll be part, of our roadmap. It's not right now.
Okay, super. So when you look at the past 2 years, Drew,
Yeah.
first of all, what was the impact of the pandemic on the business?
So I think I aged like, I don't know, about 3 years. So
Just
Mario,
three?
yeah, right. So quick in a month. So quick story. So my wife and I were in Jamaica for her special birthday, and landed, went to the hotel, was going to relax. Finally, it had been a tough 12 months without a vacation, and my phone just started going, right?
Yeah.
And within 48 hours, the NBA was closing down, the NCAA tournament was closing down, which I'm a big basketball guy. And then all of a sudden, Starbucks was closing and Apple stores were closing, and my staff was getting sick.
Oh,
And I just remember being like, okay, we got to shut it down. And that was the most incredible 3 weeks of my life, from a business standpoint. The amount of change that happened
yeah.
in 3 weeks, right? Like we were flying, Mario. Like we were the fastest growing retail brand in Canada. We had an amazing year set up and had already been, almost a quarter of the way through. And then boom, everything stopped. And the toughest thing as in business is uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
And so I think, the exercise of closing our showrooms or suspending them, was it going to be 2 weeks? Was it going to be 4 weeks? Was it going to be 6?
Yeah.
And by mid-May, we were opening probably 80% of them. By June, we were fully reopened. And then July, we shut them down again for a week or 2 weeks. And so it was just this incredible roller coaster. But I always, I think with the team, we just stayed really consistent. We stayed really positive. We treated COVID as an incredible challenge that could be an even better opportunity for the brand. And that's proven true. Our last 12 months, we've just had incredible results, breaking records every month, and really excited about some of our growth prospects.
Super. And what do you think as a business you learned through that challenging 2-year period?
I think you talk about it as an entrepreneur a lot, and it's important to your well-being, but resilience is a key, skill. And you can talk about being resilient, but until you're put in the fire like that,
Yeah.
you don't know what resilience is. And so there's a lot of things that I've done in my career now, sort of 25 years in, that I'm extremely proud of, but nothing more than the last 2.5 years. This team, my board, our shareholders, our partners. I mean, the way that we all just came together and said, no, this is going to be fine. We're going to be even bigger and better.
Yeah.
And yeah, so resiliency would be the key.
All right, super. Well, thanks, Drew, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Mario. Great to see you. You take care.
Right, super. That was Drew Green, CEO and president of Indochino. I'm Mario Toneguzzi with Retail Insider. Thanks for joining us today.